for being here today. I want to begin by thanking my partners in this effort, Senator Judy Ward. Judy, come on up. Senator Judy Ward and Senator Frank Ferry. Is Frank here?
Right over here.
Okay, come on up. For their collaboration and the leadership on the Senate side, and Representative Bridget, no, I don't.
Kazarowski.
Kozarowski?
There we go.
I'm sorry I butchered your name. And Tariq Khan, he's not here yet.
Tarek's here. He's going to try. But
Valerie Gatos and Kyle Donahue for their partnership in the House. This is truly a bipartisan effort focused on dignity, fairness, and quality of life of Pennsylvanians. I also want to thank the advocates and their families joining us today, especially the individuals who will share their stories. You will hear them shortly, and they will truly remind you why this legislation matters. This week, we introduced the So Everybody Can Move Act, Senate Bill 1360, because movement is medicine. For many people, movement is something they rarely have to think about. But for individuals living with a limb loss, a limb difference, or mobility impairments, movement can determine whether you can work, care for your family, participate in your community, or simply live independently with dignity. And as someone who uses a wheelchair, I understand it deeply. I know what it feels like when mobility challenges every part of your day. I know how important accessibility is, and I know the frustration that comes when systems or devices we use are not designed for us to live our fullest possible lives. And I know life-changing it can be when someone finally gets the tools, equipment, or support. I could not imagine my life if I didn't have my wheelchair to get around in. And in case you're wondering, the color is called, ready? Power Pink. Right now in Pennsylvania, too many people are being denied quality prosthetic and orthotic devices by their insurance because they are deemed as not medically necessary. Families are being forced to pay enormous out-of-pocket costs, settle for unsafe and rudimentary equipment, or go with devices that would allow their children, them or their children, to live fuller or healthier lives. We're here to tell you that this is unacceptable. This legislation says very clearly that if a doctor determines prosthetic or orthotic device is medically necessary, then it's medically necessary. That includes devices that allow someone to exercise, participate in sports, go to work, care for children, bathe safely, or simply move through their daily life with confidence and independence. And guess what? It's a win-win. Having access to a quality prosthetic means healthier lifestyles, greater participation in work and society, and less medical costs in the long run for all involved. We know that access to the right prosthetic can completely change somebody's future. We have seen children gain confidence and independence. We have seen adults return to work, regain mobility, and reconnect with the activities they love. We have seen people go from isolation to empowerment because they finally had access to the care they deserved. 12 other states have already passed this legislation. A few others are working on it. And now it's Pennsylvania's turn to do it. Movement matters. Movement is medicine, and everybody deserves the chance to move and to live. Thank you, and now you will hear from one of my partners on the Senate side, Senator Frank Ferry. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Tina, and honestly, there's not much left to say after that well-done explanation. Ladies and gentlemen, no matter what situation arose, whether it was an accident, an illness, a situation at birth, The result of being an amputee is something that is not taken lightly. Obviously, it has lifelong impacts on you. And I think it's our responsibility, whether Republican, Democrat, House, or Senate, that we are there for you to help you live your life to the highest quality you possibly can. And that includes all the things that Senator Tartaglione said, ranging from being able to care for your family, being able to take a bath, being able to be involved in activities. If you are sedimentary at home and you're not being active and you're not living your life to the fullest, well, we need to fix that. Because if cost is a barrier, if insurance coverage is prohibiting you from having that opportunity, well, we need to ensure that the insurance company is mandated to cover that. If your doctor says you need a particular device, even if it's a device for an activity, if your doctor says you need that device to live a quality of life, then that should be covered by insurance. Cost should not be a barrier for you to be able to live your life, whether it's tending to your children and being involved in their activities, to actually being able to be free and being able to go out on a run or a jog or participate in a community 5K or walk for charity. We want you involved in our communities. We want you to have the best quality of life. That's why this legislation is being introduced in the Senate. I believe there's a companion legislation in the House. It has bipartisan support. So our goal is to get this to the finish line for you so you can have the best quality of life. And now I'm happy to introduce one of my colleagues from the Pennsylvania State House, Representative Bridget Kozarowski.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm the colleague in the House, I am, and this is a wonderful day to be here with everybody, and I could not have said it better than the senators, and I'm going to steal your line, is movement is medicine. Movement matters, and that's why we're here today, and we are blessed with an incredible group behind us of advocates. I will say, we get advocated by lots of different groups here in the Capitol, and I am very proud to be here today with the people behind us. I've been a nurse for 30 years, and I was an orthopedic nurse. So I got to work on the patient side. And I got to work on the patient side with people that were life changed because of prosthetics, because of how they were able to move and do that about their activities of daily living. And like Senator Ferry said, the source of the amputee, whether it be an accident or you were born with a limb mobility issue, the prosthetic changed lives. And when the physician and the nurse and the patient know that this is what we need, the insurance companies absolutely should not be the barrier. You have enough barriers to deal with when you have to have a limb mobility issue. So I am really proud to be here today. We have a fierce team of legislators that I believe will be advocates for you. And everybody moves and everybody matters. And these are things that this is why we get elected. And these are things that make us really proud to be able to do the kind of work we do. So I'm happy to be here today. I am not sure who I introduce next. My colleague in the House, he's a nurse practitioner. I'm just the nurse. He gets to be the nurse practitioner. So Tarek is here with me today, and he will also speak. And it's good to have nurses in the House. It's good for us to be a part of this team because sometimes people tend to listen to these medical issues a little bit more when it comes from medical professionals. So I'm proud to introduce Tarek. Tarek Khan.
Thank you. Thank you to my colleagues in the Senate for their leadership as well. So as Rep. Kozarowski said, I'm a nurse. I'm a nurse practitioner, but let's be honest. I don't know what it's like to be some of the families or some of the individuals on stage who have either a limb loss or disability, and they are asking for coverage that they should get for prosthetics, for orthotics, and then are denied for the insurance companies that basically tell them that this is a cosmetic issue. It's not something that your insurance should take care of. And that is unacceptable. That is unacceptable that medically needed devices, that medically needed orthotics or prosthetics are being denied because the insurance companies don't want to pay for it. And what's worse is the gaslighting. Is them telling us that by giving you what you need, it's going to raise your costs. It's going to somehow prevent access to care by giving you what they need. Now, we have a lot of times in the House and the Senate, we have political differences. But what is not okay is when we, as legislators, get gaslit. When our patients, our advocates, our constituents are being gaslit and being told that they're not important, that their quality of life doesn't matter. Well, we're doing something about it. We're coming together across the aisle, across chambers, to make sure that the insurance companies do what they should be doing, which is providing access to health care. That is their job, is to make sure that these patients and our constituents get what they need. And right now, it's not happening. Too often, these individuals are getting denied by their insurance companies, and their quality of life is suffering. You should not have to be well off to get the care that you need. You should not have to be well off to get basic care. A physical disability is a disability, and it is a health care issue, and it should be covered by health care. That's what this bill does, and we will fight to make sure it happens. Thank you.
We now have Anna Zimmerman. She's an advocate on behalf of her son, Joseph.
Hi, my name is Anna Zimmerman. I'm from Lidditz, Pennsylvania. Our son Joseph, where's he at? Oh, there he is the youngest of our 6 children. Joseph was born with a congenital limb difference. After his adoption, Joseph received his first prosthesis too, or impossible, with his walking leg. And just for those of you that don't know, this is what his walking leg looks like. Sitting like the classroom or our home, but it does not work for things like running and jumping, which a young boy really needs to do. This is what, oh yeah, here we go. He had a lot of issues with his knee falling apart from activities that were too intense for the leg. At one point, his knee had to be sent to Germany to be repaired. It was hard on him to not be able to walk while it was gone. We were overjoyed when we heard that Iron Leg, a nonprofit dedicated to helping kids get prosthetics not covered by insurance, chose to buy Joseph a running blade. I'll never forget the look of joy on his face when Joseph realized how fast he could run on his new blade. It opened up so many opportunities for him, such as a trip to the beach. Before he got his blade, he couldn't walk on the beach because sand ruins the knee mechanism in the walking leg. He ran and play in the shallow waves with his family. I wish you could have seen how happy he was. He was also able to join the family on excursions like creek walking or hiking or a trip to the museum, which is Joseph's favorite. When he started school, he was able to participate with typical children in gym class and field day when he wore his blade. Not only that, he was better equipped to keep up with his very active brother, who's 5 months older. It changed his life and made him grow physically and mentally when he was able to run and play with his friends. I believe that Joseph and all children should have access to running blades through their health insurance. I am confident this bill will save insurance companies in the long run because they will have healthier clients, both physically and mentally. It will also cut down on repairs on more complex walking legs since they will be used as they were intended. Joseph will soon exceed the 55-pound weight limit on his blade. We will need another blade, which will not be covered by insurance, to continue running and playing with his siblings and friends. There are families all across Pennsylvania going through exactly the same thing. You can be part of changing Joseph's life and many others for the better. So please support the So Everybody Can Move initiative and help make Pennsylvania a place where families like ours can focus on supporting their kids to do what they love. The beach, thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Brittany Blythe. She is a congenital bilateral amputee and a mental health therapist and a certified amputee support leader.
Hello. Thank you. Well, this says good afternoon, but it's good morning. Good morning. My name is Brittany Blythe, and I'm from Chester, Pennsylvania. And I'm proud to be here today, not only as a Pennsylvanian, but as a licensed professional counselor, disability advocate, amputee peer specialist, founder of Blythe Wellness, and most importantly, a bilateral above-the-knee amputee living every day with limb loss and disability. I founded Blythe Wellness in 2021 to support individuals navigating trauma, grief, disability adjustment, and mental health challenges. The work is centered on helping people rebuild dignity, stability, and hope. I was born with a congenital condition worsened by my parents' substance use during pregnancy. My life has been shaped by medical barriers most people never have to think about. I did not choose disability, but I have spent my life choosing resilience. I know what it means to fight for medical care that allows you to function, work, dignity. For people with limb loss, prosthetic and orthotic devices are not optional. They are mobility, independence, and access to everyday life. Yet insurance companies treat them as non-essential. Without coverage, amputees are forced into impossible choices: pay rent or repair a prosthetic, work through pain, risk falls, or remain isolated because the technology allows us to move is denied. No one should have to beg for the ability to move. As an amputee, I know firsthand what happens when a prosthetic no longer fits. Pain increases, mobility decreases, mental health declines. I also live with chronic pain and joint deterioration connected to my disability. Weight changes directly affect prosthetic fit, often requiring new devices and lengthy insurance approvals. These are not cosmetic needs. They are medically necessary for mobility and independence. That is why movement is not optional for me, it is essential. Movement helps me manage pain, maintain strength, support my mental health, and protect my long-term health. It has reduced my pain, increased my confidence, and allowed me to better serve others in my community. When I applied for a running prosthetic through insurance, I was denied because it was considered non-essential. Because of that denial, I had to rely on charitable support through the Challenge Athletes Foundation to access a running blade. For that, I am deeply grateful. But access to mobility should not depend on charity, luck, and mental health professional. I can tell you movement is directly connected to emotional well-being. I know that that is true for me. Exercise decreases depression, anxiety, stress, and isolation. Individuals with limb loss already face significantly higher rates of depression and PTSD. For amputees, movement is not recreation, it is rehabilitation. It is mental health care, and it is also suicide prevention. So everybody can get care access. It ensures prosthetic and orthotic care that is treated as essential health care, not optional equipment. When insurance denies coverage, it is not denying a device, it is denying freedom, independence, wellness, and participation in everyday life. I ask you and your colleagues to support this so everybody can move act, because insurance limitations should never determine whether equal access to care and mobility. Everyone deserves dignity, everyone deserves access to care, and everyone deserves to move. Thank you.
We now have Jared Clark, advocate. He's here on behalf of his son, John.
Good morning. Thank you, everybody, for this opportunity. My name is Jared Clark. I'm from Mars, Pennsylvania. I'm here with my son, my 10-year-old son, John. 3 years ago, John survived cardiac arrest, multiple heart surgeries, massive stroke, and loss of part of his leg. On top of that, he spent 9 months in the hospital awaiting a heart transplant. Today, he's doing incredible. He loves to bike. He loves to swim. He loves doing taekwondo, and he runs around with his friends. Honestly, the best moments as a parent are when you watch your kid forget about everything they've overcome and just go out and simply be a kid. That's what these devices make possible for everybody that has them, and also it's what makes it possible for John to do the things that he loves to do. One of the things that we learned through John's journey is that one device can't do everything. A walking leg is designed for everyday movement. A running blade is designed for physical activity and sports, and a swim leg is designed for wet and bathing environments. Each one serves a different purpose, and each one creates different opportunities. Without the right prosthetic, a child may sit on the sidelines instead of participating alongside his friends. When John steps onto the Taekwondo mat, he's not thinking about his leg. He's thinking about competing. He's thinking about having fun. He's thinking about learning and being with other kids his age, and that matters. John has a swim leg today because we made the difficult decision to purchase that. We had to pay thousands of dollars for a device. And the decision was, do we help him bathe safely and swim safely with his friends? Or do we purchase a running leg that allows him to participate more effectively in physical activities and sports? It's a choice that no parent, no individual should need to make. And the truth is, many families in Pennsylvania can't afford a second leg, let alone 3. Luxury that we're asking here, not about extras. It's about giving children and amputees access to the tools that allow them to fully participate in life. Because when kids like John have the right prosthetics, they build confidence. They stay active, and they participate with their classmates and friends. They feel included instead of different. These devices are not about limitations, they're about possibilities. So I would ask you to think about this. If your child had the determination to get back into the pool, to step onto the Taekwondo mat, to run alongside their friends after everything they had overcome, should insurance companies really decide what parts of a childhood a child should get to experience? Because every kid deserves the chance to simply be a kid. John, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I think that the right prosthetic doesn't just help me walk, it helps me live.
Yeah, so the right prosthetic doesn't just help him walk, right? It helps him live. It helps him be a kid. So thank you, everybody, for the time and for your participation.
Thank you for being here. That concludes the program unless we have any questions. Okay, thank you.